guys already know what's happened in Finsbury Park. So a van did actually hit a crowd. The crowd of people that van hit were Muslims. This was an actual terrorist attack. Unfortunately, a lot of the mainstream media and media outlets don't actually want to report this as a terrorist attack. As we all know, they have been pushing this word onto Islam and Muslims for a very long time. A lot of people are upset about the fact that this is being called an incident, it's being called a van hits pedestrians. This was on purpose. This was not a small a minor thing, ensuring you ensure that people are hurt. It's not just a man dies after. It's not just a man dies after a van hits pedestrians. A man has been confirmed dead. One man, a 48-year-old white male, has been arrested by civilians as it took a very long time for police to get to the crime scene. The pedestrians also involved, the Muslim pedestrians also involved in the whole terrorist attack were injured and taken to hospital. A man did die, and it's just it, it's a terrorist attack. I mean, this is terrorism. What's happened in Finsbury Park is terrorism. But unfortunately, a lot of the media don't want to say that. So if we take a look at a few of the headlines today, so we've got BBC News, Finsbury Park Mosque, man dies as van hits pedestrians. Doesn't say anything about terrorism. If we scroll down, counter-terrorism officers are at the scene, the Metropolitan Police said. So although counter-terrorism officers are there, they don't want to report this as a terrorist. They will try to say that the man involved was either mentally ill or drunk, but there were in fact three men involved. Two of the men flew the scene. They ran away. They got away, and this man actually got caught by the civilians and was arrested by them, and they kept him until the police arrived. And if we move on to The Guardian, London van attack, counter-terror police investigate after worshipper killed near mosque. You see, we've got counter-terror police investigate after worshipper killed near mosque. Okay, so the worshipper was killed. First of all, what worshipper was this? This was a Muslim man, and he was targeted. So with the rest of the Muslim people involved in this terrorist attack, they were involved and they were the victims. So the victims were Muslim. So unfortunately for the media, because the victims were Muslim and the perpetrators weren't, this is not going to be called a terrorist attack. So it's going to be called a van attack. Why are we playing down the severity of what's actually happened? Why is this happening? So obviously, that's the London Guardian saying it's a van attack. Counter-terror police are investigating because they know what it is. We all know what's going on, and we all know anyone who follows, who uses their own brain knows what's going on in media. A lot of the media outlets are using van attack incident. I've seen on the BBC News today they're using the word incident, and it's actually it's detrimental to everyone, in this world, because it's like you're playing down the severity of the situation. You're using words that aren't, like, it's like a accident. So if we move on to Sky News, we've got one dead after van attack. Van hit mosque worshippers in London Finsbury Park. So if we play this, so that's the man. There we go. These are all the civilians that were either involved or at the scene at the time. All the neighbours, and that's another thing. Okay, so if we move on to Metro, I'm going to kill all Muslims. Shocking moment suspect in Finsbury Park Mosque attack is led away by police after being tackled by worshippers. The man is held by a police officer as an angry crowd gathers behind him. So obviously, this is this is the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail has downplayed it as well because there's no word of terrorism in there again. We've got RT. RT has said, call it as it is, it's a terrorist attack. London Finsbury Park Mosque's chairman. I mean, that's the way it is. It is a terrorist attack. But it won't be called a terrorist attack because, unfortunately, for the media, they've been trying to paint a picture where terrorism is only committed by Muslims. It's only committed by people who follow the Muslim religion and Islam, and a white English male, is unlikely to obviously commit a terrorist attack. But call it what it is. Call it what it is. If the duck is walking and the duck is quacking, it's a duck. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. You know? Come on, it's a terrorist attack. This is obviously terrorism. Like, they will try and paint this picture as this guy was drunk, or I don't know, mentally ill, but there were 3 people in that van. 2 of them ran away. One of them was still in the scene and was caught by civilians. He's a white male, and they're trying to downplay the whole situation. They will either say he's mentally ill or has an addiction, some sort of addiction, but no, that's not what it is, you know? So out of all these 6 news outlets I've showed you the BBC, Guardian, Sky News, Daily Mail, RT, and Metro. 6 news. And that's RT, and Metro, who said first picture of suspect in Finsbury Park terror attack, Muslim worshippers, and that's the guy. Out of 6 news outlets I've showed you, and there's more, right, who are saying it's just a van incident. Only two of those 6, 2 of them have said this is a terrorist attack, and this is a terrorist attack, and white people and black people and Asians, anyone is capable of terrorism. And unfortunately, terrorism has just been painted to be something that's committed by Muslims, but it's not. Terrorism is the use of violence and threats to intimidate or coerce, especially for political purposes, the states of fear and submission produced by terrorism or terrorization. Right? That's the dictionary. That's the meaning. And if you want me to show, this is what the Oxford Dictionary says. Terrorist. A terrorist is a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. Nowhere in there does it say anything about religion. But unfortunately, this is what they want to paint, and they want to segregate communities, and they want to separate and divide us as human beings. And that is why it's not being called what it is. But this was a terrorist attack. Finsbury Park was a terrorist attack. Anyways, guys, I've said my bit. Bye.